And so, I'd like to say hello to all our internet friends out there. And again, I'm Andy Turenne. I'm a licensed practitioner in the Centers of Spiritual Living. And I am so grateful to be here. And I thank Reverend Michael for making this possible for me and for indulging me one more time. It's always a pleasure to be speaking on Sunday here. It was such a joy doing these things because, as anyone will attest to when they do these things, is that I learn so much more because I'm really having to go back and when I'm putting a talk together, I'm going into my own mind, how my feelings are, what are my attitudes toward these things. And so it's a learning experience for me as well. So the title of my lesson today is Circulating Love. I'll talk a bit about the law of circulation and giving and receiving and how they're both just two sides of the same coin. First, though, I have a little story for you. So one evening in a far-off place, some wealthy nobleman is driving down the road, down a country road in his elaborate limousine. And he sees two men on the side of the road. They're eating grass. So he tells his driver to stop and to back up a little bit. And he goes to see what these two fellows are doing. Why are you eating the grass? Says the nobleman. Well, we don't have much money. We don't have any money for food. So we end up eating grass. Well, then, says this nobleman, you come to my house and I'll feed you. So, but sir, I have a wife and two children. They're over there under the tree. Well, that's okay. Just bring them along, he said. And you too, he said to the other guy. He said, you come along too. He said, but sir, I have a wife and 7 children. He said, that's okay. We'll pile them all into the limo. We're done. So they all pile into the limo, and it was pretty tight. So they start out, and so one of the guys says, well, you know, I can't understand it. I mean, you're truly, really, really kind. I'm so grateful for your generosity and for you doing this. And a nobleman replies, and he says, no problem. No problem. I'm glad to do it. You'll love my place. The grass is almost 2 feet tall. So when I say lose prosperity and wealth, how many of you just automatically think of money and finances? I used to do. And it's pretty much the same if I talk about generosity. You know, how many of you are thinking about gifting or most of us do, or giving. So this month's theme is generosity. So what does that mean? You know, according to Webster, it means the quality of being kind, understanding, not selfish. The quality of being generous, especially a willingness to give money and other valuable things. Now, my own personal meaning is being a major player in the law of circulation, being a cog in that wheel of abundance that keeps going round and round. So let's start from the beginning. Giving and circulating has its roots in receiving. Deepak Chopra says in one of his affirmations, today I will gratefully receive all gifts that life has to offer me. I will receive the gifts of nature, sunlight, the sound of birds singing, or spring showers, or the first snow of winter. I will also be open to receiving from others, whether it be in the form of a material gift, money, a compliment, or a prayer. You see, in receiving, I'm giving. When I accept a gift from you, I am giving you the pleasure of giving to me, the pleasure of your generosity. I am keeping the law of circulation in motion because I am receiving and giving at the same time. You are doing the same. You are receiving my gratitude, my blessing, my openness to receive, and my validation of your generosity. Now, we have so much to give to others. We are abundant. We are prosperous in so many areas of our lives. Our cups of abundance and wealth are overflowing, no matter who we are. When we think of wealth and prosperity, many of us automatically think of money. We tend to forget how rich we are in other areas of our lives. I mean, just simple stuff. We have life itself. We love, we breathe, we have health, we have friends, work, sunshine, smiles, hugs, joy, laughter. There's so much more. And these are things that we have. You know, we can make a list of all of these things that we have, and we can probably cover the walls from here. Because everything that the universe has to offer is ours. We own it. They are ours by divine right. That's just the way it is. We are created in beauty and joy and the perfection of God, endowed with all that God is. So you think about it. God is all there is, and so am I. So God is all of these things, and so am I. I am just so blessed. We have all been so indoctrinated in lack that we often do not see the magnitude of the abundance in our lives. We focus on what isn't. Huge problem. So when we're seeking one thing, it is very easy to ignore what we already have because we take them for granted or simply do not see the connection. For example, if I focus on what I don't have, oh, I don't have enough, you name it, money, energy, whatever it is, it's hard for me to see what I do have. An affirmative way of approaching what I don't have probably sounds more like this. I may be broke right now, but at this moment I have life and air to breathe, a roof over my head, water to drink, and food to eat. I have so many other things. Oh, or I may not have a romantic relationship in my life right now, but I am the expression, and I am an expression of love, and I'm still having a pretty darn good life. So here the point is, what we focus on is what we get more of. We all know that. Focus on lack, we get lack. You focus on abundance, you get abundance. We know that to be true, but what we need to really grasp is how it is all connected. Whether it's romance, money, health, everything ties together. And there is only one life. It's like pickup sticks. Remember pickup sticks when you were a kid, little colored sticks, and you let them go, and then you need to you're trying to remove one stick without disturbing or moving another stick. Well, it's pretty much like that. You can't do one thing and have one thought in your life without impacting something else in your life, because it's all one mind, it's all one big thought. Everything is integrated. It's it's the butterfly effect. Many of you probably know that if a butterfly flaps its wings somewhere in South America, it ripples through the universe. And I'll read what's in Wikipedia. It's the theory that everything matters, that even the flutter of a butterfly's wings can cause a hurricane on the other side of the world. If you, excuse me, I'm sorry. Yes, it can cause a hurricane on the other side of the world. If you change even the smallest of life's details, you completely change its outcome. Your individualized life is a microcosm of the entire universe. What you do in one area of your life is felt in all the areas of your life. As I mentioned many times before, God always says yes. So here's a foot stomper for you. When I used to teach young adults, and I would say, here's a foot stomper, is that that's what's going to be on the test. So make a note, this is going to be on your test of life. Divine source always provides for me all that I need to live the life that I choose. Always. Now repeat that. Divine source always provides for me all that I need to live the life that I choose. So, if I think that I'm being shortchanged in some area of my life, I have to think, what is it that I'm choosing in my life? Where are my sights set? What do I truly believe that I deserve? Because that's what I'm getting. It's what I truly believe that I deserve. And God always says yes. So there you go. Just wanting more money or a relationship is not going to get. Remember, God always says yes. So if I say I want more money, God says, yes, you want more money. God says, I want romance in my life. And God says, yeah, you want more romance in your life. So just saying yes, you want something is passively saying, I don't have. I lack. Focusing on want is focusing on lack. So try this instead. I am loving and kind. I give love, I receive love. I attract love, I am fully aligned with love. I know my soulmate is seeking me out right now, and in the one mind, we are being drawn together. Or how about this? I am wealthy in all areas of my life. I live in an abundant universe, and Source always manages to provide me with the money to pay my bills, to meet my obligations, and I have plenty left over to enjoy, to share, and to make the world a better place. I am grateful for all that I have, and I see my bank account just growing and expanding. I neither worry nor fear. I am loved and cared for by the universe. That's a lot better than I want some money. I need money. Yes, you do. You see, there is no big or small in the mind of God. There just is. We create the big and small. Did you ever try to explain to a child why a dollar is worth a dollar? Think about it. Why is it so? Well, it's so because in our collective human race consciousness, we decided that it's so. There's no other reason. It's not backed by gold or silver. You can't go to the bank and say, give me $1 worth of gold. So, like it or not, that's the way the system works. So you can have $1 and you can say, wow, I have $1. I'm going to the 99-cent store. Or you can put on your grumpy, Mr. Grumpy Pants face, shake your head and say, all I have is this lousy $1 and throw it aside. It's true. Now I talk about money because it's an easy way to teach abundance and circulation. But it works exactly the same in all of our affairs. So let's switch gears for a moment. And we're going to talk a little bit more about love. Now we can turn the lights down low and put on some low Al Green music, and close our eyes and start humming. I'm so in love with you. Anyway, whatever you want to do with me is all right with me. But that's not where we're going. Consider this. We are created out of love from God's desire to express itself in the universe. We are God's expression of love. We are divine love. Think of what that implies. If you create something out of love, out of your passion, out of your desire to express yourself in this world, wouldn't you cherish it, treat it tenderly, protect it, hold it to your heart, care for it, and love your creation? Of course you would. Now think about this. You are created by God in its image and likeness, out of its absolute love. God is expressing in, through, and as you. You are a divine being, no greater and no lesser than the angels, the saints, God itself. You are God I am in divine expression. Now, what greater love can there be? We are immersed in and surrounded by love. We are never separate from it. Loneliness is not a lack of love. Being single is not a lack of love. We are love, plain and simple. We forget that so easily. That is why spiritual practice and meditation and prayer is so important, to continue to remind ourselves of who we are. We need to get out of our head and our ego thinking mind and into spirit, into our heart self. We need to quiet the mind and focus on the love that we are. We exude love, we radiate love. So when I move from that place of lack to knowing that there is more than enough love in my life and more than enough love to go around, then I know I can easily love without effort. It can be expressed in simple things as a smile, a greeting, a handshake, a hug, a prayer, a gift, or any manner that we choose. The point is, when I know and feel the love that I am, my cup runneth over, and I can easily give from a place of abundance. So to paraphrase Emerson, if you want to see more love in your life, you need to give more love. This is the law of circulation. When you hold back and get into that woe is me drama, you stop the flow and you spiral downward into an abyss of lack, depression, and dis-ease. Well, you can be of good cheer. And you can be of good cheer because you are right here. And you already know that there is a better way in your life, or you wouldn't be here. Here we teach love. We teach the law of attraction, we teach the law of circulation, the law of reciprocity. And the interesting thing is none of these are against the laws of nature. They are the laws of nature. That's how it works. Now these laws are innate to us. We're born with these laws. We're born with all of these feelings. We are created out of love and born into this world as a divine expression. Then our well-intentioned caregivers put all their fears and limitations on us. All the stuff that they've been taught. Now, I don't fault them because they only knew to do for us what they have been taught themselves. And we do the same thing. So we're not an exception here. You know that your parents are responsible for you and how your life has turned out until the day that you realize it. Then who do you think is responsible? Yeah. So you think about it. When you realize it, then it becomes your responsibility. And what are you going to do about it? So you have to kind of give up your story. I mentioned in class the other night is one of the things that we talk about is that if you've got a good story and a woe is me story and you keep saying it, if you say it more than 3 times, you got to stop that. If you say it more than 3 times, there's no hope for you. You're just hung up on that story. So anyway, so as I was saying, what so the parents, parents are responsible, and so you realize it. When I was in school, I was one of those students who never studied, never really studied. I turned in homework haphazardly, and I did the very minimum to get by. No one pushed me to study or to work hard and get good grades. Apparently, I was kind of lucky because apparently I could retain much of what I heard in the classroom. And I got what I thought were decent grades, lots of B's and C's, no D's, no F's. And in my house, as long as we weren't failing, we were doing okay. And as I grew up into an adulthood and started to taking college classes, I realized that my success was entirely up to me. I had to learn to be a good student. My study habits were zero because nothing I ever did. All of a sudden, I had to be reading 30 and 40 and 50 or more pages a night in some subjects. So I had to learn to discipline myself. I took my studies very seriously, and I maintained a pretty high grade point average. At some point, when I was struggling to be a good student, it occurred to me that I was much smarter than I thought I was, which is a good thing. Then, on the B side, I was in a woe is me thought of if someone had only encouraged me and guided me when I would have easily gotten scholarships, I would have, or two, whatever, lots of could-haves and would-haves and should-haves. I blame my dad, my sisters and brothers, but they were in the same boat as me. They did the best they could. Um, I came from a very large family, so there was kind of different generations in my family. I was the tail end of 16 kids. So, and my dad only had 4 years of education. And when he was 12 years old, he went off to the lumber camps to work. My older sisters and brothers, they all had to drop out of school when they were 16 years old to help provide for the family. My immediate brothers and I, we were very lucky. We didn't have to do that. We got the benefit of all of their hard work and all the things that they did. So we were able to stay in school if we chose. In fact, my dad even paid for electronics correspondence course that I took before I graduated high school. Anyway, as you can see, there were no role models in my home. So there were no study habits to be passed down. And what I learned in my late teens and early 20s was that it was my responsibility, not theirs. And with an attitude of, I was going to show them that I can do this. So I stopped brooding about it and I got to work. And fortunately, I was very successful at it. In retrospect, though, I have to say that my upbringing, particularly in a large, relatively poor family, was a gift. The gift of self-reliance has and continues to help me throughout my life. I'm so grateful for it. So all that the universe gives us, those things that we judge to be good, bad, or otherwise, are all gifts for us to use and to treasure. I may not understand and see the good in the appearances of what is immediately going on right now. But fortunately, I have come to trust the process. I've come to trust the process enough to know that in the end, it will be good. Always. If there's a lesson to be learned, a principle that I must adopt, and once I've accepted this, it's my mission to pass it on. For me personally, I have learned that my soul's purpose is love, just as it is for our center. To be open to receive love, to give love, to teach love. It is my purpose to take what life has given me, look at the principles, and allow Spirit to use me as a conduit and an instrument of its divine purpose to help and to teach and to guide others. This is my gift, to express and circulate love. I want to share, just before I left this morning, I was just did a little quick check on the internet, what was going on. And there's a woman, she's a registered nurse, and she has a website called Angels Insight. Her name is Stephanie Barton. And just struck me that this is my gift to you this morning. She says, let your light outshine the darkness. Let your truth call out all fear. Let your heart chase away the shadows. Let angels completely clear the chains that bind you, the wounds that blind you. For you are meant for this, love. This is your moment, friend. Claim life, live love. Amen. And that's from Stephanie. And so it is.